afternoon. It is now 6:45. 1.0, opening of meeting at 6:45. Is there any need for an interpreter? Everyone's good? Thank you. 2.0, call to order. 3.0, roll call. Juan Pablo Huerta. John Alvarez.
Here.
Sabrina Gomez.
Here.
Ruben Macareno.
Here.
Alice Lopez is myself, and Mr. Vasquez is absent. If we can all please stand for the flag salute, our chess team will be leading.
All right. Ready, guys? Open.
You guys did a great job. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good job, guys.
4.0, adoption of agenda. 4.1, adoption of the agenda is requested as presented. We'd like to move,
The only
Uh,
addendum is it the
right,
spelling?
we also have an addendum under 13.1.4, correct spelling of candidate name to Cynthia Osuna Monroy. And we'd like to move 13.1 through 13.5 into closed session.
Yes.
Just for discussion. And also, there's a correction on 7.1. It should be request to approve instead of ratification.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second. Go ahead.
There you go.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any other questions or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 5.0, consent calendar. 5.1, approval of the regular board meeting minutes, April 23rd, 2024.
Move.
Second.
You have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, you have a-
abstain.
You abstain? Okay. We have a 3-0-1. Motion is passed. 5.2, approval of release warrants dated April 25th, 2024, in the amount of 2008 668.22. May 5th, 2024, in the amount of 284 991.33.
Moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez.
Yeah.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 5.3, approval to attend Cisco Live Conference on June 2nd through the 6th, 2024, at Las Vegas, Nevada.
Motion with comment.
Second.
Okay, you guys gonna fight, yeah?
It's Ruben's turn.
Okay, Ruben?
Right.
Little hand, right? See who raises the hand first. We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Ruben Macareno. Mr. Alvarez, you had a comment?
Yeah, I think a board member should go with them, make sure everything's okay.
Make sure they behave.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, we're good, we're good.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 6.0, awards presentations. 6.1, student board member report. He is not here, so we will skip that. 6.2, student recognition Chess State Tournament.
Let's give them a round of applause.
You guys stand in front there. They all got, you got to see them,
Yeah.
they're right in front of you, so I'm gonna make them see
Yeah.
the rest of the audience.
Yeah.
Yes, let their parents get good pictures.
Oh, yes, definitely the pictures. I probably don't need this, but I'll do it anyway. So, yes, this is our Freedom Chess team. We actually took about 20 students up to state from Freedom and 20 from Snowden. It was great to be back. The people who were organizing were ecstatic to see us back. It's been, I think, about 10 years since we've been up there and done that competition up in San Jose, competing against all the different Bay Area teams. So that was really exciting. We were in a K-8 section because of just the way the timing worked out. It was a beginner section. And so we were competing against anybody from kindergartners to 8th graders. And Snowden and Freedom were both in the same section. So we got second place as far as clubs go for all of Farmersville. But then Freedom got second place team. So second place school, yes. The funny thing is, the first place school was actually West Fresno Middle School, which we actually see at our local tournaments anyway, but it was funny because the middle schoolers got first place, the intermediate got second place, and then Snowden did get third. I think they're planning on coming at a different board meeting, so we'll make sure we coordinate that. So they have their trophy as well, and they also have the one that we got for Farmersville. We had several of our students show your trophies there, guys. Several of our students got 3 or more out of 5 games and got their trophies, and every student got a medal for participating, and so they all have those that they can keep forever. I have a few 6th graders here that I have to say goodbye to. I'm going to lose Abby Becerra and Matthew Estrada right there, and Carlos Rodarte. They're going to move up to the junior high school, so I will not have them, but I will still have my other students there and all of the other ones that we've got. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I just really wanted to thank the board and the school district for financing that. Going to state is pricey. You know, you have to have the buses, the registration can be a little expensive, and I really appreciate your commitment to our chess program and helping us to do that, because that's what really makes it work. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Would any of the members like to make any comments? Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, you know what? Life is a chess game, right? You guys are heading in the right direction, competition, but then you need to get up and speak. We need to hear your voices. So it's nice to see a good grounded foundation to get you started. And we hope you come back with some state tournaments and blue ribbons for the state of California, huh? That'd be nice. Appreciate you.
Good job. I'm excited for you guys, and keep going, okay?
What I want to tell you is that you make me very proud. I myself, when I was at Snowden, I was in the math competition at Liberty School in Visalia, and I've never forgotten that experience. And to this day, when I see you and you come home and you're doing awfully well, you represent all of us and all our efforts to give you the best we can possibly do in this district. So you guys make me proud. Thank you so much for representing Farmersville the way you have. Thank you so much.
And I also want to thank you. You guys are doing an amazing job. Not only are you making your parents happy and proud, but you make our district, our schools look so much better because you guys are out there and you're winners. I want you to keep it up, and you know what? You guys intimidate me because I have no idea how to do chess.
I'm not playing.
I'm so
I don't wanna play
intimidated,
chess.
and I don't go either because I understand that it's supposed to be very quiet, and I'm just not one of those real quiet people.
Me neither.
So, but you guys keep it up, keep on doing such a great job, and we're very proud of you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And some of you are taller than her too, so. Appreciate you guys.
Do you have anything to say, Mr. Chavez?
I just want to say that, well, I was going to do it on my comment, but I'll do it now. You know, you guys rock. It's awesome. Chess is critical. In the game world, chess separates everybody else. They say the most intellectuals play chess, the rest play checkers. And so, you know, by you playing chess, it will only further develop your critical mind and your reasoning. You may or may not fully understand what those words mean at this point. Don't worry, you will. Keep playing chess and it'll all come full circle. So I hope you guys keep playing. Those of you that are moving on to the junior high, how many are going to the junior high? You promise you'll keep playing? Yeah. Yeah. Keep playing. Keep playing. That game is very, very powerful for your mind. Okay? So I just want to say thank you. Very proud.
We move on to 7.0, people to be heard. 7.1, request to approve facility use agreement for Farmersville Youth Football for use of the high school stadium and practice fields for football passing league on June 8th, 2024. Sergio Valencia.
Good evening, I'm Sergio Valencia. I'm the president of Farmersville Aztecs Youth Football and Cheer. And actually, it should be two of them. We're requesting the usage for the middle school
Yeah, I
on
think it's,
June 15th.
let's go ahead and hear both of them.
Okay. So the passing league, we've already done it in the past. We utilize the practice field that's in between the two diamonds, and then we utilize the stadium. So we normally have about 40 to 60 teams participate. Usually each game runs about 25 minutes. So we technically have from like 8 in the morning to about 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, you want to go ahead and give us the information on 7.2, approval of facility use agreement for Farmersville Youth Football and Cheer for use of the Farmersville Junior High School for cheer camp on June 15th.
So the cheer camp, this is new to us. It's the first time we're hosting it. So we'll be utilizing actually the grass field on the back end of the gym and the gym itself. And that, the same, we'll have everyone from all Valley, so about 40 to 60 teams participating in it.
Do we have a motion under 7.1?
Move.
Yeah, I have a question.
I have a question.
Okay, we have a motion
Okay,
first.
we do. Yeah.
for di-
Motion
okay.
for
Motion for
discussion.
discussion.
Okay,
Motion for
Ruben,
discussion.
who's second?
Second.
You want me to go first?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We're for discussion
I-
at this time?
I just have a simple question, because I've been to passing leagues before, but how do you guys do it on the football stadiums? There more than one game going at a time, or they?
So we split, so both fields that we're gonna do, that's a 100-yard field, we split both of them in half. So we have 2 teams going in the stadium, 2 games going in the stadium, 2 games will go on the diamond.
Oh,
Like I said, and it's not a tournament to say, each team gets, we kind of pull them, so we get anywhere from 4 teams or 3 teams, and they all play each other depending on how many teams show up. So then, once that pool of teams is done, they'll leave, and the next pool of teams will start playing.
oh,
So it's
okay.
not like, you won't have all 60 teams there at once.
All day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Mine's just a comment. You know, the other cheer squad did a cheer at the high school. Big problem was people bringing in alcoholic beverages, things like that. So when you do that, you have the gates, maybe some signs up, maybe somebody checking. I don't know if you have any issues with the passing league. It seems to be
Yeah.
great. all
So
the time.
last year we actually did have an incident, and I believe you guys were there for the meeting. We did have an incident where we found alcohol on the opponent side and on the home side. So what I did is we banded wagons.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to bring wagons. They weren't allowed to bring any ice chests. Only the actual team
Yeah.
coach would bring one ice chest, and we check them off. Once it was in, no one else brought anything else.
But that's to be fair, because the night before there was a football game, so honestly, we don't know if that was, if it was from the football game or if it was from this, but you guys did your part to make sure to cover
Yes.
that, so, thank you.
I just want to share with the board to make sure that your microphones are on. They say they can't hear you.
Yeah, it's on. I'm just not talking into it. No.
I could talk closer.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns?
No.
No.
Mr. Macareno, your motion would be?
Motion to approve, the facility use, to high school for the Farmsville Youth Football Program.
To waive or no waives?
I'm sorry?
No waiving? No waiving fees? Anything?
Yeah, let's waive that fee for
Well, you gotta make
824.
the motion, boss. Okay, if he's gonna motion to waive fees,
He's
Yes.
making a motion, from what I understand, to waive all fees.
okay, I second, I would like to second.
Okay. You know how I am about
Yes,
abstaining.
I do.
Because I'm sure you guys will be charging an entrance fee
Yes.
for the.
Yeah, so, on the passing lane, like, as far as the paint, we cover all that. So nobody actually paints fields for us, we cover all that. And as far as the middle school, I'll be opening and closing the facilities, this is the site I work at. So I have access to everything.
You guys
Okay.
clean up also?
Yes, cleanup, we do all the cleanup, so nobody cleans up after us.
That's for the junior high?
Yes, and then the actual passing league tournament, the high school football team is actually participating in it as a fundraiser for them.
Okay, so you're
So the
saying
high school students will actually pick up the high school.
for the whole stadium, under 7.1, are you indicating that there will be no need for a custodian?
So yes, just how we were doing the home games, to open up and to close. But for the day, we don't need them. This is just the
That's,
initial opening of the stadium and the closing of the stadium,
that's on a Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday, so we have a man on duty at that time, Saturday, working?
Yeah, I can relay over to
Yeah, okay.
Remind
Um,
Rosemary to let Tony know.
Okay, all those in favor?
So-
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? It will be 301. Yeah, I will abstain, yeah. Yeah. On 7.2, is there a motion?
Motion, also waive fees,
All?
all fees.
Second that.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Ruben Macareno to approve facility use and waive all fees. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 301.
Okay.
We know the abstention goes with this,
Thank you, guys.
but anyway.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
8.0, public comments. Members of the public may address the board on any agenda item or other item of interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, before or during the governing board's consideration of the item. The board is not able to discuss or take action on any item not appearing on the agenda. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. Please begin your comments by stating your name. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
The board asks that during public comment, everyone be respectful of the speakers. Members of the public shall not interrupt or interject while another person is giving their public comment at the podium. During public comment, there shall be no use of foul language. Should a member of the public have a concern about a specific employee, we ask that you direct those to me, to the superintendent, after this meeting so that those concerns can be handled through the proper procedures. Please do not use employee names or student names during public comment. At this moment, there are no speaker cards.
We have no speaker cards. Okay. Thank you very much. I understand, though, that we do have maybe one or two of the people that are on the items going to closed session. Do you think they would like to get up and introduce themselves?
Yes, by all means. So, who we have here in the audience, we have Dr. Jesus Gonzalez. You wanna come up and say a few words? And
Wasn't ready.
you don't have to sing a song or anything, just a few words.
We have the initiation paddle here. Paddle.
Good evening, school board, superintendent, and community. My name's Jesus Gonzalez. I am currently a principal of Visalia Unified School District and hope to be approved this evening to be the high school principal at Farmsville High School. Really excited to join this Unified School District and partake in my 25 years of educational experience, bring that skill set to this district. I am from a local community here, Woodlake Unified School District. Grew up there, attended school there, K through 12, and then went off and get my education. So I'm excited about the opportunity you guys may provide for me this evening, and let's go Aztecs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the only one?
That's the only candidate that's here.
Okay. 8.1, superintendent comments?
Yeah, I just have a few announcements. This Thursday, we have the Sound of Spring, in the high school gym. We're having our concert at 6:30, and it's free entry. And it's both the junior high and the high school band presenting. Also, on May the 30th, we'll be having our second forum of the spring. It'll be based on academics. We had the first one explaining the community schools grant, but the second one will be talking about academics. It is at 6 o'clock here in the boardroom. So we'll be mailing out and sending out the invites, but wanted you to put that on your radar. Aside from that, we're ready to roll up our sleeves and get to work and close out the year strong and begin to plan again for next year. The goal being to improve our academic achievement across the board, to close that achievement gap, to make sure that all students are learning at the highest levels. And that is our commitment collectively as staff, teachers, admin, and parents, making sure that our children get the very best. And with that said, that's all my comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 10.0, K-8 issues. 10.1, approval of fifth grade field trip to Chaffee Zoo on May 31st, 2024 in Fresno, California.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 10.2, approval to attend 2024 TWBI Conference Bilingual Immersion Conference on June 24th through 26th, 2024 at Riverside, California.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 10.3, approval of signature revision to Snowden Elementary ASB account.
Motion? Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Ruben Macareno. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 10.4, approval of Snowden School logo update.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. I do have a question. Have we checked to make sure that this logo isn't already trademarked? So it's not? Yeah,
Well, it kinda looks like the principal, though.
okay. And, I wanna make sure I'm looking at this correctly, because it does say update. Should it have been on for approval?
Yeah, for approval.
To,
The school logo update.
to update our school logo.
Yes.
Maybe the word update was in the wrong, okay, so let's correct that. This is for a
Update.
Approval.
approval to update our Snowden School logo.
There you go.
Has everybody had a chance to look at that?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah.
We're gonna be soaring.
With the more fierce
Yeah, we wanna look fierce, for
Mm.
sure. Yeah, okay. Any other comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 10.5, approval of 8th grade field trip to Wild Water Park on May 30th, 2023 at Fresno, California.
Motion?
Second.
I have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.0, high school issues. 11.1, approval to attend state CADA conference on June 23rd through 27th, 2024 at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, California.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.0, curriculum. Approval of TCO-ERS Library Multimedia Services 2024-2025 Agreement Number 250037.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.2, approval of significant disproportionality memorandum of understanding update.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.3, approval of grant award notification for 2023-24 mental health average daily attendance, ADA allocation.
Motion? Sorry. Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Ruben Macareno. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed 4-0. Rosemary, we're doing okay? 12.4, approval of grant award notification for elementary and secondary school 1 Emergency Relief 3 Summer Grant Program, Round 2.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.5, approval of grant award notification, 21st Century Community Learning Centers, CCLC assets.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Ruben Macareno. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all.
Sorry about that.
It works.
12.6, approval of agreement with California Teaching Fellows.
Motion. I'm waiting for you to read more. It's fast.
Oh, that was
Second.
it. Did you second, Ruben?
Second, yes.
Okay. We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Ruben Macareno. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed for all. 12.7, approval of agreement with California Teaching Fellows Foundation for Summer Expanded Learning Program.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macarano, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 13.0 that has been moved into closed session. 14.0 board business. 14.1 adoption of resolution number 33-05-14-24, ordering regular governing board member elections, specifications of the election order.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ruben Macarano, second by John Alvarez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 14.2, consideration of any item any member of the board wishes to have on a future agenda or provide a written update. Mr. Alvarez?
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Gomez?
Nothing today.
Okay. Mr. Macaroni?
Nothing today, thank you.
I guess we're in the clear today. 15.0, business services. 15.1, FTA, public disclosure of tentative salary settlement.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 15.2, approval of agreement for community swim program.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-all. 15.3, 2024-2025 statutory, I can't say it.
That's where.
Thank you. I'm almost biting my lip. COLA, information only.
Thank you.
These are just the changes.
Information only, so no comments?
No comment.
Okay. 15.4, CalSTRS update report. Can't be that long, come on.
Maybe I should, I could bring the whole case over here.
One
So-
sip of water and let's go.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Keep it brief, right? So at the last board meeting, I gave a CalSTRS update, but at that point, it's my understanding that the board wanted some more clarification regarding what the audit entailed, just to provide some background. So the audit, they were looking at the years 1920, 2021, and 21-22. And so throughout this entire audit, we worked closely with TCOE because we needed their help to go back and kind of do some data mining to determine who this may have affected. I believe the final audit report came out in November, and there were 4 audit findings. And so I'll go through each of the audit findings and kind of what they were focusing on. So for the first audit finding, it had to do with the coding of stipends. So for example, for the average teacher, let's say, they're on the column G of the salary schedule, and let's say their pay is maybe $95,000. So that $95,000 for their base pay was coded perfect. There's no problem with the way their base pay is coded. What the problem was had to do with the way that the stipends or certain stipends were coded. So for example, on some stipends, they were coded as what STRS calls a special compensation. And for these types of stipends, they should not have been coded that. They should have been coded something different called additional assignments. And so what that means is that for those types of stipends, those don't go into their DB account. So maybe I'll just kind of do it. So for STRS, they have a DB, which is defined benefit, and then I'll stand over here. And then there's a DBS, which stands for defined benefit supplemental. So for people's base pay, so for that 95,000, that goes into their DB because that's their main retirement account. So that's their DB account. So on this one, for these stipends we're talking about, those are incorrectly coded. And so after STRS looked at it, they said, hey, you guys basically should have coded these to DBS. So what we did was we went back through and identified 55 people that had the incorrect coding. And so we made those corrections, and we've sent those off to TCOE. And so those are now going to be coded to their DBS account so that when they retire, their retirement will be correct. And so I talked to TCOE this morning just about, this CalSTRS update. And what he told me was, Jason, what we have to keep in mind is what we're trying to do here is correct everybody's retirement so that when they retire, there are no issues, which makes sense. So for finding number 1, there were 58 people that were affected, but nonetheless, we've gone back and we've corrected that coding, and we've sent it to TCOE. And I think, like I mentioned last time, there's only one person down at the county office that is responsible for doing all this work for us and all other districts within the county. So she has a bit of a backlog, and it's going to take her some time to get to it. But nonetheless, the district has taken corrective action on finding number 1 and submitted all the corrections to TCOE. For finding number 2, that only affected one person, and it looks like we underreported to STRS by like $700. I wish I knew why that accident was made. I'm thinking maybe it was just a typo. Once again, this is going back to like June of 21. So that's almost 3 years ago now, and that's 2 payroll people ago. If they were still here, I would definitely go back for each of these findings and ask them how they reached the conclusions that they did. But unfortunately, we don't have that luxury. But nonetheless, finding number 2 only affected one person. We've made that correction. Once again, that's been sent down to TCOE to correct that with STRS as well. Finding number 3 had to do with some one-time payments in 2021. And when those were coded, for some reason, those were not coded to STRS. So when we worked with TCOE and we looked at everybody who could have been affected, we determined that there were 98 people that were not coded to STRS correctly, or actually were not coded to STRS at all. And so what we did was we corrected that coding so that now they are getting credit for this one-time payment, whereas where it was sitting before, they were not. So on this one, once again, we've corrected all these people and have sent it to TCOE so that their retirement will be correct when they retire. And so for this finding, it basically benefits everybody in finding number 3, because whereas before they were not getting credit for that one time, now they are getting credit for that one-time payment, which is going into their DBS account. And finding number 4 only affected one person, and that had to do once again with accidentally coding something to special compensation, which was an error. In fact, that should not have been reported at all. So this person paid their STRS on a payment that they should not have. So this person will basically get a refund, albeit a small refund for the STRS that they paid, but they should not have. So now I know the questions have been, has everybody who's been affected been notified? I've confirmed with STRS, yes, everybody who has been affected, who is involved in this has been notified by STRS. And once again, I realize people are wondering, do I have to pay back? Am I going to owe money? Is there going to be a refund? And I've asked TCOE that a couple times, and the response I've really gotten is possibly, and it could go both directions, but until we actually have done all the work for all the 4 findings, we won't really know that exact answer for each person, because what the answer could be for person A could be different than person B, depending on the finding that they had. So once again, they said on that one, we're gonna have to wait till the very end, and then we'll realize where we land as far as if we have to, you know, potentially collect money or if there's money refunded to people. And I know also people are wondering, when is this gonna be resolved? I realize that this impacts people's retirement, you know, and I'm very sensitive about that. And I followed up a couple times with TCOE, you know, on this topic. And once again, they've told me that they're working as hard as they can on this. But once again, there's one person at TCOE who has a day job as well. And so she does this for everybody, including us, when she can get to it. But they were hopeful to complete this entire process, correct these STRS, you know, coding errors by the end of June. So hopefully by the end of June, this will have reached its conclusion, and we'll have some answers regarding if some people will get some refunds or if there potentially will be some minor collections. But it looks like at this point, we're just gonna have to wait until the end of June until they've made all these revisions, and then we'll see.
Mr. Alvarez, do you have any questions?
No questions? Got it?
So you've answered all of my questions, but unfortunately, for those that, like for these people to have to sit and wait to find out if they're gonna have to pay something back, that's just not fair for them at all. Thank you for following up on it. Did we have to do any notifications, or we just relied on STRS to do that?
In a couple of the correspondences we had with STRS, they basically said that they were gonna notify all the members that were affected.
Okay. All right, keep us posted and updated on what's going on.
Let's get through the questions.
Okay.
Thank you for handling this. I really appreciate it, particularly because it is a retirement accounts and people do take that very seriously. Is it commonplace, I mean, in terms of coding errors? I mean, is this like an average, you know, is there an average, or is this like a time that codes were just not being done? Or, I mean, I guess I just want to understand that, you know, I understand that when there is an administration and you have to work with TCOE, you know, there is, you know, room for mistakes. I mean, we're human, whatnot. But I want to know if it's commonplace, or is this something that just kind of went wrong on our end, or?
Right. So I think just to provide some context, you know, we've had some turnover in payroll, and once again, like I mentioned, payroll is extremely complicated and detail-oriented. What it is for one person is going to be different theoretically from somebody else. So it's not always the same for two people, and so that makes it complicated. So first of all, we've had turnover in payroll. That doesn't help. Secondly, you know, when these errors occurred was during the height of the pandemic, where people were getting sick all the time, being sent home all the time. Sometimes it was really difficult to get somebody on the phone to get help because they were working from home. So I think that's another factor that's not really present in what we're looking at here, but nonetheless was the reality we were dealing with back in 21. So there's that piece. But besides that, I believe in the last meeting I provided a listing, although it was hard to read, of all the districts that they looked at for a certain period. I can't recall what it was. But I think I mentioned, because I looked at it too, by far the majority of those school districts that were identified in there had findings. Now some had less, maybe some had a couple more. But nonetheless, by far the majority of those people, the majority of the districts audited had findings.
Okay.
So, in fact, I was talking to TCOE today, like I was mentioning, and he basically said, Jason, you know, this happens, you're not alone. We've got another district that has the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, when I used to supervise a staff of payroll for a major company, and I know that a lot of times there's a lot of safeguards within the programming of reporting, doing reports. And I know there, even in that regard, that we do have some, you know, problems, and sometimes someone doesn't get a paycheck. It's like the most horrible thing, you know. But I guess, you know, it makes sense. I guess we had that crazy period. I mean, everyone experienced that whole COVID experience, and, you know, people not coming to work, whatnot. So, okay. But I think we got a handle on it, right? I mean, would you say?
Yes, I believe we've got a much better handle on it. And I would say also the fact that we have two people definitely helps because the work is just, getting more complicated as time goes on, and there's more compliance as time goes on. And this also gives us a backup, whereas before, when we only had one payroll person, if that person went out for whatever reason, sick, vacation, whatever, there was no backup. It was just, myself and the budget coordinator trying to fill in the best we could amongst our duties as well.
Yeah.
The benefit now is that we have two, so that if somebody's on vacation or sick, that person can, fill in the gap, for that short time period.
Yeah. And not just anyone can do it.
Exactly. No,
Definitely.
payroll is definitely a skill that's acquired over time. It is detail-oriented,
Yeah.
in the weeds.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I know that there's a couple of comments or concerns from the public, but let me ask you just one question. Are they in any way trying to make sure that anyone that is retiring is being looked at first before, or are they making them wait through the list before they make the corrections?
As far as anybody retiring, I can't really speak to that unless they've actually submitted their actual retirement or not. But I wouldn't say that TCO, if somebody here is retiring and they haven't turned in their official paperwork, I wouldn't say that TCOE is aware that this person is retiring in the first place. But maybe tomorrow I can get a listing of these people from HR and call TCOE and see if there's something they can do to advance this.
Do you have, you have a list of the people, right? And you would have some type of notification that they're planning to retire?
Sometimes, in my experience, people say they're going to retire, but it's not official until they actually submit their resignation.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, let's just make sure that anybody that appears to be on the cusp of wanting to retire, that this gets taken care of as soon as possible. There was a couple of comments, yes, please? Can you stand up, please?
My question is, if an employee is affected, will the district pull the money out, or will they give the employee enough time to budget?
That's a good question.
Can you repeat her question?
Yeah, I think she was asking if there's employee that's affected, and I think I understand her to say, if STRS says that the employee needs to pay something, are they going to give this employee advance notice so they can budget for it appropriately? So the way that the process works is that in this type of situation, what the county does is they say, okay, Farmersville Unified, you should have paid, I'm going to make this number up, $100. Okay, so you should have paid $100 of STRS. So what we're going to do is they just pull it out of our account, and they say, okay, Farmersville Unified, we took $100 out of your account, and so they tell us, and we know, and they say it affects these people. Now it's your responsibility to contact these people and collect that money back from them so you're whole. So that's their process.
So in that case, you would make the arrangements with the employee
Yes.
on how to pay that back?
Correct.
Okay, was there another question?
So I have a couple questions. Number one, you said on number one, at one point you said there were 55 people.
I'm sorry,
And
if
then a minute later you said 58.
yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's 58.
Thank you. So that's one. Two, because money going to DBS as opposed to DB, so since you've got money that went to DB that is now going to have to go to DBS, that is going to mean the percentage, as you know, for DBS is different than DB because of PEPRA. So people will be getting any back money. We are gonna make sure that they get that percentage that they overpaid will be coming back. And what's gonna happen to the fact that that means there's 1, 2, 3, however many years this has been, interest into DBS that hasn't been going in there? Is STRS gonna calculate that? Are we gonna figure that, oh, you should have gotten, I'll give nice round numbers, $100 in interest that you didn't get? Is somebody gonna be responsible for making sure that is paid to the employee? Thank you.
I think if you would please write that down and submit it, and that way you have a chance to
Definitely.
actually look into that.
Sure,
Because
definitely.
you probably don't have the answer to that, do you?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
Nora, just leave it with Rosa.
Yeah, but if the
Okay.
money, if the money,
Yeah.
if the money has been collected, it has been drawing interest. If it's being moved to another one, the DBS, what I understand is like one-time payments and things of that nature, which is a one-time deal, right?
Yeah, so if money was, and, I can't speak for STRS, but I'm just thinking if money was put in here, but it should have been here, this is where the county has to come in and actually submit the corrections to move it to where it belongs, to move it theoretically from DV to DBS. Because we at the district here don't even have that ability
Right.
to make those corrections.
Right, but we want to make sure that if there is any interest that was to be drawn, we want to know what's going to happen with that.
I will do that.
I think there's only one more out there.
Yeah, when you were itemizing like the number of people on the different, findings, I thought I heard you say 98 people.
So,
Yes.
yeah, and so
Great.
Yeah.
maybe I misspoke, so but for finding number 1, it was 58,
Uh-huh.
That was right.
and finding 3 was 98.
Yeah, 98
So
people.
98 and 58, and 2 is more than 55.
I'm sorry, I'm not following the 2.
You said 55 people were affected, and then you itemized it, number 1, 58, number 2.
Was one person, yes.
Number 3, 98. 98 is more than 55.
I guess I'm
They're-
not
they're-
following.
Those are different findings and different
Yeah.
amount of people.
Right, but didn't you say the total was 55?
In-
No, no.
In finding 1, 58,
It's for one
I
finding
thought you
only.
said 55 people were affected, and then you itemized it.
no, no.
So it
No.
was 55 for the first one?
58.
58.
58 for first ones, 1 for second,
And then the-
98 for the third, and 1
One.
for the fourth.
So were these all unique individuals?
You mean unique being new to the district, or?
No.
Did anyone have more than one finding?
Yes, I believe there were some people who had more than one finding.
Okay.
So how many unique were there, and how many employees were there at that time?
I don't have those numbers off the top of my head here. How many got more than one finding? Yeah, I don't have those in front of
No,
me.
I just, how many total number of people were affected?
In all 4
Yeah,
findings?
I can get that.
Okay.
And then, the last one, was it a particular type of municipal, well, second to last, was it a particular type of, because I've compared notes with people, and it's like, well, I did summer school, did you do summer school? I have the stipend for this, do you have stipends? And we weren't able to figure out what it might have been related to.
Right.
So was there any commonality in what type of stipends were affected, or?
So the one that really affected the stipends was the first one. Was there commonality? I would say the main common feature is probably the difference between somebody who's a classic member and somebody who's a PEPRA, because those have to be coded differently.
And then, maybe I didn't understand this right, but if it was miscoded and it went into defined benefit, wouldn't that be a separate problem when it's taken out of defined benefit? As in it affects.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like an actual STRS question that I can't answer. But I'll talk to the county and
Okay,
get,
yes, if you can, some of these questions, he doesn't have access to answers to those. So if you could, maybe submit those questions and maybe they can get answers. So there was a total of 98, no more, of employees affected, because 98 would be the highest number, correct?
98?
Some of them were affected
Yeah.
more than once, but the highest amount was 98.
As far as the findings, yes. Now, it's possible that there are people who are involved in finding number 3 through 98, but also had, let's just say, finding number 1 as well.
So they're still in the 98 number.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for giving us that update. And if you do provide answers to some of those questions, if you will CC the board, please.
I will.
Is the board fine with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the board.
15.5, City of Farmersville, notice of public hearing, proposed changes to water and sewer rates. This is information only. I don't know what size our pipes are, so what is our rate going to be for the water?
My understanding it's gonna impact the junior high and Hester.
Because they're not on
They're not on the,
a well,
they don't have a well.
but do we know what,
And I heard that the pipes are obviously larger, so yeah.
Based on the pipe size?
yeah. Yeah, I was trying to look at this and it's like, well, if I don't know the pipe size, I have no way of figuring this out.
Yeah.
I know that the sewer rate is not going to be a huge impact.
So we're gonna have to start charging for the use of our fields and, water bills. Alice will be
Well,
good with that.
if we have to keep on watering, of course, we're gonna have to,
We have to.
make up the money somewhere.
Okay,
Okay,
Either that or they bring their own water.
yeah.
everybody gets to water a little section. Any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay. 15.6, approval of 457 plan, third-party administration contract.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 15.7, adoption of agreement to the TCG Administrators 457 Sub B Plan for Governmental Employers.
Move.
Second. I'm in
We
the
have a
middle.
motion by Ruben Macareno, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 17.0, future meeting dates. 17.1, May 28th, 2024, June 11th, 2024. 19.0, policies / administrative regulations. 19.1, first reading of Board Policy Series 0000, Philosophy, Goals, Objectives. On that one, we need to correct the administrator's name on the, in there, please.
Yeah, Rosemary, if you can note that and share with the.
19.2, first reading of Board Policy Series 1000, Community Relations. 19.3, first reading of Board Policy Series 2000, Administration. 'Kay. We will move on to 20.0, adjournment to closed session. Oh, that's wrong. 7:43, to discuss 20.1, conference with labor negotiator GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps, agency designated representatives, Dr. Sergio Chavez, Jason Caff, Manuel Mendez, name of organization, FTA/CSEA/management. 20.2, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code Section 54957. 20.3, Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiator, agency designated representative, Dr. Sergio Chavez, unrepresented employee, chief business officer, and also all of the items under personnel. We will now go into closed session. You're welcome to stay. Do you want any of your admin to stay, Dr.
Yeah,
Chavez?
so, Manuel and Jason, rest of the site admins.
I'm hoping it won't be long.
Good job.
Slapping this. I'm glad I'm not
Okay, so it can go? We're returning into open session at 8:42. We're going to go back to 13.0 personnel. 13.1 approval of certificated personnel. And I believe,
Hold on.
is there a motion on that?
Motion?
Oh, second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. 13.2, approval of classified personnel. Item 13.2.1.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Sorry. Aye.
Motion carried 4-0. 13.3, approval of extracurricular activity, coaching personnel, item 13.1.1 through item 13.3.5.
I believe it's 13.3.1.
13,
Oh.
is that,
13.3.3, 13.3.5.
is that, 13.3, okay, it's wrong on there. 13.3.1 through item 13.3.5.
Okay. I'd like to actually table and confirm.
Table which items, Mr.?
13.3.1, is that correct?
Um,
No, it's, yeah, it's 13.3.3.
Yeah.
Was said to begin with, 13.3.4, right, and 13.3.5.
I second that with the 13.3.5 to follow proper protocol.
Okay, so we have, we are tabling at the request of Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Gomez, 13.3.3, 13.3.4, and 13.3.5. Mr. Alvarez, did you have a question as to the first two items?
The first two items are, I guess we can speak about it, right? The confirmation of proper
The stipend,
stipend, the amount of, so verification,
Verifying the stipends
yes.
and
two-
positions.
Two of them for one position, yeah. We have one listed, but we have two of them, so, yeah, verification.
Okay. Did you get that? I think
For
Mr.
3 and 4, we need to verify stipends. And for 5, we need to follow protocol on the interview form.
Right?
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, as to 13.3.1 and 13.3.2, is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez and second by Sabrina Gomez as to 13.3.1 and 13.3.2. Any further comments, questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. 13.4 personnel action report, that was information only. 13.5, approval of state federal programs coordinator revised job description.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. We go to 21.1, conference with labor negotiator GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps, agency designated representatives, Dr. Sergio Chavez, Jason Caff, Manuel Mendez, name of organization FTA/CSCA/management, no action. .2, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code Section 54957, no action. 21.3, Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiator, agency designated representative, Dr. Sergio Chavez, unrepresented employee, chief business officer. During this evening's closed session, the board took action to approve the district's notice of non-renewal of a classified senior manager employment agreement that expires on June 30th, 2024. The board vote on this action was as follows: 3 yeas, 1 nay. Is that all, Dr. Chavez? We still do it out here?
She needs to know who the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do it again. Same votes.
Okay. All those,
Yay.
Okay.
Nay.
yay. But there was we needed a motion still, right?
So someone wants to make the motion.
A motion.
Second.
Okay, we kind of did this backwards, but we have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. We have 3 to 1. Is that all the business before the board?
Yep.
Adjournment at 8:49.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. Meeting is adjourned.
All right. Well, a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Did you turn that off?